All right, let's go inside the Texans. Let's dive a little bit deeper into this victory today. A much-needed win by the Texans over the San Francisco 49ers, 26-15. Let's bring in now Nick Mantis and our insider Aaron Wilson over at NRG Stadium. Nick, this is a game everybody looked at the start of a big three-game homestand, and where the Texans were, they could not afford another slip-up. I went into this one thinking this was a must-win. They got it done. That's the important thing.
Absolutely. They were absolutely able to get that must-win, as you were mentioning, when it comes to facing a San Francisco 49ers team, Aaron, that we knew was going to be a little banged up coming into this game, but I think the offense really stepped forward. It made a statement today. What did you see? I
saw that too, Nick. It was a tense week here at NRG Stadium behind the scenes with probably some healthy confrontation, I feel like, from what I'm hearing went on. And for 475 yards total offense, for C.J. Stroud not to be sacked, for the offensive line to do a great job, and for all-purpose performances like Woody Marks, 111 yards of total offense. And the Iowa State guys, the Cyclones, those guys combining for 14 catches, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns on 20 targets. Overall, this offense took a quantum leap forward, and a guy that got a lot of praise that's been getting knocked a lot, Nick Caley, the offensive coordinator, the embattled offensive coordinator no more. Today, some pats on the back for Nick Caley.
This team offensively kind of woke up a little bit, knowing that they were going to have to do so without Nico Collins coming out of that tunnel today. Yeah,
C.J. Stroud touched on that. He said, hey, we didn't have our big guy out there. We got to find targets. And you guys just mentioned the young receivers stepping up, and you spotlighted those receivers earlier on Sports Sunday. How about the running game? Let's talk about that, because that was important, Nick, to get that rolling. With not only Woody Marks but Nick Chubb. The final numbers, Woody had 11 carries for 62 yards, just under 60 yards for Nick Chubb. They went over 100 yards. Credit not only the backs, but, hey, the offensive line did a nice job creating some space today, also protecting C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that offensive line, in order to make sure that the running game had a huge impact, was so important in this game. And Aaron, when it came to seeing Blake Fisher come in a lot, we heard through the loudspeaker 57 eligible. We weren't sure if that was because it was going to be for a lot more pass blocking or run blocking, but the running game was huge today.
Right, that's the jumbo package, and this is a way to get Blake Fisher and get a big body on the field next to other big bodies. Usually it's on the right side, right? Titus Howard, Ed Ingram, that's the power side of the offensive line. And that group, they were embarrassed the other night by the Seahawks, and I thought they got their pride back today. And they were physical. They rolled up their sleeves, and there were some big holes for Woody Marks and Nick Chubb and sometimes C.J. Stroud to run through, and that is winning football, and that's keeping them honest with the ability to have play-action passes. But when you're just totally one-dimensional, you're launching it 49 times like they did Monday night, that doesn't work. But this is true balance. Even if it's not the best running game in the NFL, at least it's a respectable running game, and that can work.
Absolutely. And one of the biggest things that we were hearing throughout the week is that Blake Fisher knew that his time was going to come, but was it going to be, okay, you're starting today, or are you going to be used a lot more? And the things that a lot of people, a lot of different sources were telling us was that Blake Fisher is really excited that he is going to be used in different ways. He's going to be versatile. So that keeps his engine roaring for that, give him more opportunities, whether it is for him to be pass blocking a lot more, making sure that C.J. Stroud could be a little bit more protected in that passing game, or get a little free on the outside, go run somebody over and make sure that Woody Marks and Nick Chubb could have themselves a big day, Randy.
Hey, one more talk point, guys, before we let you go. The defense stepping up again, and that's been the story all season. Right now, these guys are sitting 3-4, and I think you got to look at the defense as the big reason why they're where they're at right now. Hopefully the offense can build off it today, but I want you guys to weigh in on what this defense is doing, the playmakers that are stepping up. Health-wise, they're pretty good as well. They held McCaffrey in check today. You check every box right now. This defense is playing at such a high level, and they're only going to get better.
Absolutely. This defense has been huge. I mean, we thought about, okay, if there was something that this Texans team is incredibly good at, it's playing really, really good, tough defense against very talented teams. We know that, of course, there's George Kittle's coming back, CJ, or rather, you got Christian McCaffrey who is trying to find some type of rhythm. But the defense was able to shut him down completely today. Another huge game for the defense.
Nick, that's what they call a flex. That's a little muscle flex. Okay, I don't have the guns like these guys. Yeah. But I tell you what, for them to hold him to 25 rushing yards and 43 receiving yards, this was the NFL leader in touches by a mile heading into today, and he had 202 all-purpose yards against the Falcons. They bottled him up, and they said that was the game plan, and we wrote about this and we talked about this, that they were going to make him the focal point of the defensive strategy. Everywhere he went, he was surrounded, and there was only a few plays that he could be happy about. And the great Christian McCaffrey, and he is great, NFL Offensive Player of the Year in his past, they shut him down, and that is the kind of performance you would expect from the top-ranked scoring defense. I think this is the start of something, and I love the Kamari Lassiter play. The locksmith, shutting it down, ending the ball game, that's it.
Exactly. Kamari Lassiter has that locksmith chain that he wears post-game for a reason, so he can make big plays like that to call game for the Texans to get a huge win here at NRG. Randy?
All right, Nick Mantis, Aaron Wilson, good stuff as always from NRG. Always nice talking about a victory. Let's get another one next Sunday. Broncos are coming to town. Should be a busy week ahead as we prepare for that. Guys, appreciate the insight. Good stuff, man.